Chinese Premier Li Keqiang is on his way to the Canadian capital, Ottawa, his second stop in the Americas this week, as he follows a visit to China this month by Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The two will meet to discuss strengthening bilateral ties. CCTV's Roy Rottenberg has more from Ottawa.
When they met less than 3 weeks ago in China, there was formality, fanfare, and friendliness. Back home, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was being pressed to improve ties with the world's second biggest economy. Gang Tan from Trudeau's ruling Liberal Party is the first Chinese-born member of the Canadian Parliament.
Canada has fallen behind in terms of trade, in terms of a relationship, in terms of import or export. And for the past 10 years, we didn't do much to promote the bilateral relationship with China.
It was Trudeau's father, Pierre, nearly half a century ago, who as then Prime Minister established ties with the PRC. Now it is his son who must oversee what many are calling the second golden era in cross-Pacific relations. Earlier this month, Chinese and Canadian firms signed more than $1 billion worth of deals, covering everything from seafood to clean technology. Some argue there's still room for more.
So if you see continued growth and continued demand of 6.5%, let's say, if that's the new growth path for China, that's still a very, very strong opportunity for Canada. And I would argue that there's lots more that can be done, that we really haven't penetrated that market as well as we should have.
In the past, Chinese acquisitions in Canada have proved controversial, with many Canadians saying they were suspicious of China's interests. That thinking, some say, has now evolved.
But I think we're opening up more and more and realizing that, in fact, some of these mergers and some of the acquisitions are essentially to look for opportunities within Canada where we've had success in some areas.
China has also been pushing for a bilateral free trade agreement with Canada, something Ottawa has indicated it is open to in theory, but would take some time. In China, Trudeau did announce his government's intention to join the Chinese-led Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, the first North American country to do so. The move was welcomed by Beijing as a step in the right direction. Still, there is some distance between the two. A dispute, for example, on the export of Canadian canola seed, key for Canada's politically powerful western provinces, remains unresolved, putting $2 billion in trade on the line.
I want to be the bridge. So whoever come to ask me or consult me, of course, I would be very happy.
And what do you say?
I tell them, do it. Chinese people are normal people. They are not monsters. They want to do business with other people. We should be able to create a strong relationship with them.
Roy Rottenberg, CCTV in Ottawa.
In the midst of the United Nations General Assembly and already preparing for the next major diplomatic event, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon plans to be in Colombia next week for the signing of a peace agreement between the government and the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. So too does the UN General Assembly President Peter Thompson.